All right, we are back with our favorite newbie triathlete. You've met her before, Sharon from Bib and Tierra. Sharon, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Sharon. I live in DC or outside of DC in Virginia, and I am a friend of Jill's and a runner, and I am going to be a triathlete soon in 11 days.
Well on our way. And I am Jill Bartholomew, and you are listening to the Be Fierce and Try podcast. And today we are talking about the experiences of someone training for their first triathlon. We've talked to her in the past on the same topic. So we're kind of catching up. I think it's been like maybe a month and a half since we last talked? Like, oh,
Probably. Yeah.
yeah, it's
I
been
mean,
a
I
while.
think the last time was with like the panel.
That's
Like, I
true.
think just you and I haven't talked in
Yeah,
it's been a while. Yeah.
been a
Mhm.
while. So, I've been following closely what you're doing, trying to interject some advice
Coach
in
wisdom.
there.
Yes.
Coach wisdom, thank you. That may or may not be well received at times, but you just did your first open water swim,
I did. I
which
did.
for our
I wasn't sure
listeners,
if I was going to, but I did.
right? And for our listeners, like if you're preparing for your very first triathlon, unless it's a pool swim, which, some are, like the one in Philly coming up this summer, which I think you're doing
Yeah.
is also a pool swim.
Yeah.
But most of them are not. There's only so many pools, and like getting 17, 1,800, 2,000 people into a pool is kind of sounds like a
Possible.
logistical nightmare to me.
Yeah.
So getting into the water, into open water before you have your first race feels to me like a really good idea.
Yeah.
But you took an interesting path because, well, I'll let you tell a story, but you took an interesting path by signing up for an open water race for your first time in open.
Yeah, well, okay. So, firstly, I have a triathlon with an open water swim. I have two of them that I'm signed up for, but they're in August and September, and they're both Olympic. And I have two sprint triathlons before that. So, and they are both pool swims. So, the open water is like, I've done a couple of triathlons, but
The
by the
resting
time,
the
yeah,
resting one
Reston's a
is
pool swim too.
it is a pool swim.
And
Okay.
it's in a 50-meter pool, like an Olympic pool. So, I'm going to be interested to see how that feels. But it's a swimming pool, it's an outdoor pool. So, I but I wanted to practice open water because the Olympics are in open water and they're
Mhm.
further and it's like, whatever. And I've been doing all this swim training and kind of trying to practice sighting in the pool, but it's just a weird
It's
thing to
not the
do.
same.
Totally not, and also swimming with contact and people and like not being able to see. It's just you can't really replicate it in a pool. So I was looking for places to be able to do that. And people suggested like find a group that has organized open water swims where they have support and stuff. But I couldn't find any that were like had a schedule that I could figure out or were anywhere close to me. They were all like at least an hour away and hard to figure out. Like, how do I get there? And then all the open water places near me, like, are no swimming, like swimming banned everywhere. So I did the total sidebar. I met a guy who said he got arrested for swimming in the lake that's around here that you would most want to swim in. He had to do
Rested.
community, yes, he had to do community service.
I was gonna say that sounds very extreme, but, Virginia has a reputation in their
I mean,
punishment being that
I was like,
extreme.
that sounds pretty bad. So like it's
Yeah,
hard to find a place where you're allowed to do it. And so
where would
then
you
I
see the
just
ticket?
right. I don't live anywhere near the ocean. So like, lakes it is and none of them near here allow swimming. So I found this event, it's actually in the same lake and essentially the exact same swim course as the triathlon that I'm doing, the second Olympic I'm
Okay.
doing. So it's the same lake and the same swim, but it's this swim event that they've had for like, I mean, it's been like 30 years or something. And it is a masters event. So it's run by like the swim masters. So you had to like join masters for like a
Mhm.
single event or be a masters member or whatever. And it has results and it had a timing chip. I mean, it had all the things. But I signed up just thinking, okay, well, this will allow me the access to practice in the lake, like the lake I'll be swimming in for the triathlon. So
So
that
was that your
seems like a
first
good idea.
experience? Was that your first experience with the, ankle bracelet?
I mean, I told you I've done triathlons, but the last one I did was probably in like 2003. So in 23 years, yes. But I think I don't remember if they had ankle bracelets back then. They did at the time. they used to give you the little things you had to tie on your shoe for run events. So I know they had the technology, but I don't remember the triathlons if they
Yeah,
had
yeah.
those. I can't recall. First time in,
So
recent history.
it's been a while.
It's been a very long while.
It's been a while.
Yeah. And so I didn't really want to do a race, but I just wanted to get a way to practice and also safely where there's like, people paying attention and there if you have a problem or whatever. So that's why I signed up. I signed up in, I don't know, a few months back,
Mhm.
thinking like, and I just didn't think about it until it got close and then I freaked out.
And you just got a wetsuit.
Yes, I had just gotten a wetsuit very recently.
And how did that go?
Well, buying it was easy. I mean, it fit
Like,
and
yeah, that's
figuring it
go
out.
online, put your information in.
Yeah, I had to like I had my measurements. I mean, that part was fine. I tried it out in the pool because everybody said I should. One of my yeah, you did,
Uh-huh.
and one of the coaches of my swim class has done Ironmans and is triathlete and stuff. So he told me that too. He was like, definitely try it in the pool, and I was like, but it's 80 degrees in here. He was like, you should do it anyway.
Yeah, do it
So
for a couple minutes and then call it off.
right. So, but I did that, and it was the week before the swim. I did it twice, and the first time I, like, legitimately panicked, and I didn't expect to. I wasn't nervous at all. Like, I wasn't nervous going in to swim in it. I wasn't thinking about it at all because I was like, "Well, I'm in a pool." I just thought it was gonna be a chance to test the wetsuit. I didn't think of it as, like, a challenge because the challenge is swimming in open water, not wearing a wetsuit. Like, how hard is that? You put it on, you swim. So I didn't think the wetsuit itself was gonna be a problem. I just thought it was like, well, you should feel how it feels, but it made me feel like I couldn't breathe. And so then, and I don't know, I was just like really uncomfortable and panicky for the first time I tried it, which definitely made it harder to want to go do the open swim because I was already panicky about the whole can't see the bottom and people and all of it. So, like, then adding the additional,
Mhm.
and also I might feel like I can't breathe because of this thing. I was like, "Ugh."
Uh, so aren't you glad that you, didn't wear it for the first time on
Yeah. Yeah.
on
That
your
was very good
race?
advice
Yeah,
for sure.
and, like, what you experience is, like, really super common. A lot of people describe the same thing, their first time, and actually not even, like, just the first time. It's like you might swim a whole season, and then the first swim in the next season have a similar experience because you've gone the whole winter and you're not used to it, and, like, that constriction can, like, make you panic
Mhm.
even if you don't feel like you're panicking. I had one athlete, she just did a race recently and described it pretty similarly, and she's very experienced triathlete, very experienced with wetsuits, but
Yeah.
first one of the season,
Huh.
and she's like, "I got in and I felt like I couldn't get air."
Yeah,
She's
like, it just feels like your chest is compressed somehow.
Yeah, yeah, and it, like, can feel like you just, like, can't breathe. You can't get air. Like, you're breathing, you're hyperventilating.
Mm. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I did no.
yeah, I remember seeing the metrics that you showed me, and I saw your heart rate, and I'm like, "You had a panic, didn't you?"
Totally, and then the first time I did it, I swam 300 yards with it on, and then I took it off, and then I swam the rest of my workout, and it was literally like this heart rate mountain, and then it just went down to normal
Yep,
afterward, like,
yep.
it was totally fine after that, it was just
And
because
I
I
was
was
in a
freaking.
and I was in a pool,
Yeah.
so you could still see the bottom,
Mhm.
still see the
I could.
line.
Yeah. Now the one thing that I think maybe felt a little different between that and when I actually wore it in the race was the, temperature because it was, like, really uncomfortable wearing something so thick in hot water, like, that was kind of like, "Woah," that didn't feel good. It helped to have the water be cold.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a race, that's why we usually it depends on organization, but usually it's low to mid 70s is the cutoff.
Mhm.
And then you have a range where people can, but their times don't count. And,
Mm.
like,
The
a lot
times
of
don't count?
yeah, so, like, USAT, for example, I think USMS is the same.
Uh-huh.
If they're for us, it's like 76.2, and above is wetsuit optional until it
Okay.
hits, like, 82, I think,
And then it's
and
banned?
then it's just, like, flat out
No.
no because it's
Uh-huh.
dangerous. But, yeah, if you're in that range, you still complete the event. You're still a finisher. You collect your hat, your medal, your whatever, but you're not ranked.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's considered an advantage to have the wetsuit.
Well, and in this event, the water was chilly. It was 62, I think.
Oh, that is chilly.
Yeah, and because it was last week, so there had been, like, cold weather for days leading
Yeah.
into it, and it was rainy and overcast, like, we
Mhm.
definitely wanted one, but they had 2 categories, so like, signed up with which category, and they tracked it, like, the results came separate for the people wearing wetsuits and the people who weren't wearing wetsuits, and literally, like, probably yeah, like, 80-90% of people were wearing wetsuits, but a small percentage were not. And the
Sure.
funny thing is, because only 2 people in my age group didn't wear a wetsuit, if I had not worn a wetsuit, I would have placed. Yeah, because
Close.
only 2 people were even in that event,
But
but because almost
62
everybody
is
was.
really cold.
Yeah, it was,
62
it
is cold.
was.
That's
Well,
like
and
take your breath away cold when you get in.
yeah, I was very glad to have it, but also I'm curious because I feel like there were definitely people that I was talking to all the people there, and, like, there were people who were, like, and they're swimmers, not triathletes for the most part,
Mhm.
and they were, like, not happy about wearing didn't wanna wear a wetsuit. They were like, "I guess I should," or, "I didn't think I was gonna need one," or one woman had
Okay.
one that was, like, really old. I mean, this thing looked beat. It was like I think it was gonna crumble when it got in the water, and she was like, "Oh, I found this old wetsuit. I hate wearing wetsuits." So, like, people didn't really like the fact that they had to wear wetsuits.
I mean, 62 is only a couple degrees off of wetsuit mandatory.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they were doing it, but they were like, "I
Yeah.
don't like swimming in one," you know?
Yeah.
Which made me wonder, like, if I get to an event if one of my races is optional, what it would be like doing open water without one. You know what I mean? Like,
Just
how
like it's
different it
just like
is.
swimming in a pool, but with waves,
Except
other people, and no line.
sure, yeah, mhm. Because everybody says, "The buoyancy, the buoyancy." I didn't really notice it that much, but maybe that's just because I didn't notice, I don't know.
Well, I mean, so, like, for you, you should definitely see, like, some advantage. You know, you're a pretty competent swimmer to start with,
Yeah,
but the buoyancy is in your rear end. So it pulls your butt and your legs up. I
yeah.
actually find in a wetsuit that I sometimes forget to kick.
Yeah,
It's
that's true, I wasn't
like I
kicking
have
that much.
yeah, it's like
It
I have to
felt a
be
little bit
more
like when you do a pull buoy.
right, right.
Yeah,
It's like I have to think to kick because for whatever reason, like, your body's already in that position,
yeah,
and, like, normally you're kicking to keep your body there,
yeah,
but when the suit's doing it for you, you're like, "You're lazy." I'm like, "Well, I'm lazy." I'm like, "Lazy kick." And then but, like, when I'm coaching at a pool, I'm the one who's on the deck being like, "Stop the lazy kick. Kick, damn
yeah,
it."
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm not
Especially to the
I'm a
triathletes who
totally
don't like kicking.
I'm a totally lazy kicker. Kicking the like, when I kick without fins on a kickboard, it barely moves me. So I'm like,
Mhm.
since it barely does anything, and it takes so much energy, well, how much does it really help? Like, I can be kicking hard, and I'm still like, and then I pull, and I'm like,
Well, yeah. But, I mean, part of that's just because you're not having a terribly efficient kick.
I mean, like, how hard is it? You just kick.
Oh. But, yeah, well, I mean, okay, so, like, foot position matters.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
seen people who, like, keep their feet at, like, 90 degrees.
I definitely don't do that.
Right, but I've seen people who
Yeah.
do that swim
Yeah.
backwards
Yeah.
with their
Wow.
kick.
Well, right, because it would, like, kick the water forward. Yeah.
Right, right, it's like being on a boat in
Uh-huh.
reverse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, work on the kick. I mean, you've got a swim coach, go t tell him you want a stronger kick, tell him to give you kick drills,
Okay.
and he'll be
I
very
will.
excited. He's like, "You're not leaving the wall for a month."
Yeah. He might do that. I saw him this morning actually because he was at the pool when I was at the pool, but not to coach. He was just there swimming.
Yeah, I was planning to go to the local open water today, but because of the storm we had yesterday, apparently there was a algal bloom in the
Oh yeah,
lake.
don't do that.
Yeah, so they're like, "We think the water's safe, but we haven't gotten the test results back yet, so we're not doing it today."
And negative.
Right.
I
And
would not do
I'm
that either.
like, "Darn it, I was planning to swim at 5 this morning, and now I can't get it in at all today."
And you kicked it to do the open water, and then they got canceled.
Right, right, because, like, I'm not going twice in one day.
Mm-mm.
I'm
Heck no.
no, no. Okay, so you got your first open water swim in. What did you learn?
I learned I need to work on sighting more. What's interesting is when I looked at I guess GPS isn't very good, but when I looked at the map, like from my Garmin, it looks like I swam straight. I mean, it looked like I did the
Mhm.
course perfectly, but the distance was 100 yards longer than a mile. It was a mile swim. So 100 extra yards, which at first I was like, that's not bad, but that's 10%. No, it's
Well,
like a little
mm,
less.
I mean, you also have to compare it to like other people.
Yeah.
Did other people see the same thing, especially in the water? Like buoys
It's not
move.
perfectly measured. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
buoys
I
move.
couldn't really tell. I would love to have like a like a drone footage so I could watch what I actually did because
Mhm.
I didn't go completely off. I mean, I never was like, I'm going the wrong way, but I definitely didn't go in a straight line. Like I had to, the one buoy that you had, there are three that you had to, four, two on each end that you had to go around the correct direction. The rest you could be on either side.
Okay.
And I was like swimming to and like the lady on the boat was yelling at me. I was like, oh, sorry. So there's one point where I had to like backtrack to make sure I went around that buoy. But otherwise, it was like, I was going ish the right direction. But honestly, I was mostly just looking at other
Mhm.
swimmers. I wasn't really looking at anything in the
You
forward.
can't do that because
I know.
yeah, the problem with that is that person might be looking at another swimmer who's looking at another swimmer who's going way off course.
We're all going to go up out into the ocean. I know. But what I actually did to sight was definitely not good for racing, but I just swam breaststroke. Plus, it
I
helped me
mean,
calm down. I would just swim breaststroke for like 10 strokes and then go back to freestyle for a while and then swim breaststroke for a while and then swim freestyle for a while. That's what
yeah.
really did to keep on course.
I mean, that's a solid plan from, like, everybody should have 2 strokes that they're confident in, right? Freestyle should be one of them,
For sure.
forward crawl, and then the other should be whatever you're comfortable with. Most people, it's either breaststroke or backstroke. Backstroke is a bit tough,
You
in
really can't
a
sight
race.
backstroke.
You can, but it's challenging. You have to know how to
Yeah.
do it,
What do
right?
you do? Like tip your head back?
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. That's way too advanced for me. That's never going to happen.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. But no, most people, it's breaststroke. Every once in a while, you see someone out there doing fly, and it's like, "What's wrong with you, man?"
Well, that's nuts.
It
Well,
takes up so
breaststroke is
much.
also, and it's the most exhausting stroke there is. No matter, even if you're good at it, it's exhausting. So that is just dumb. But but breaststroke to me is like a rest too. Like
Mhm.
it rests me. So I liked that. Like I would get because I only swam in pools, so I've never done a full mile without any rest before. So that was new. So breaststroke helped with that when I started to
So,
get tired.
how often would you say that you paused
Hmm.
or went into that breaststroke to as a pause versus a panic?
I didn't panic in the race. I didn't panic. I think because there was such a long buildup because it was like between the time I got to the event and started swimming was like 2.5 hours of hanging out with other people, like getting like I don't
Is
know. It helped me not feel scared because all these other people were there.
I'm like
And
the total opposite. I'm like, "Wow, I've got all this time to build anxiety."
yeah, that happens to me sometimes too. But for whatever reason, I just got calmer. The people were super nice, and I just sort of, I don't know, none of them seemed that nervous. So I was like, I guess it's fine.
It's
And
just water, you'll be fine.
yeah, and then I think it was actually because it was taking so long for it to start. I was just like, I just want to get it over with. Like, I don't even, like, I just want to start so I can finish this thing. But the breathing thing didn't happen. The people
That's good.
told me, people were really encouraging and telling me all these tips because I was obviously like, I've never done this before. So I like put the water on my face. I
Mhm.
like did the things,
Did
and
you put the
so
water down the front of your suit?
yeah, I did all of that, did all the things. And so I didn't have the breathing problem. So I didn't do breaststroke to not panic. I just did it to sight and or when I was tired, which those two things happened pretty much in tandem, I think.
So
So
what do you think, like every 50, every 100?
probably not even that. It was probably like every 25. I would do a little bit of breaststroke. And sometimes just a little bit, sometimes just a stroke or two. And sometimes, like, probably I only did like 3 or 4 times that it was like a solid rest that I did breaststroke for a little bit.
Gotcha.
The other times it would just be like a stroke or two to sight.
So did you, swim into any of the buoys?
Yeah. One. It was almost towards the end. I was like 3/4 of the way through and I just was like swimming. I'm like, I'm almost done finally. And then I like whacked my head in something and I was like, what on earth? And it was the buoy right there. Uh huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do enough of them, you'll, You'll swim under them, around, sometimes over. It's like you're sighting, you're sighting, you're sighting, and especially the turn buoys, they get pretty crowded.
Oh, yeah. Like
Yeah,
lots of people. Well, this,
and
I'm curious, do races in triathlons, or most of them, start the way this one did? Because they literally started one person at a time. So it was not, there was no mass group of people running in. It was one person at a time. They were checking your number and then you got in the water. So it was not at all like a
so
crowd running.
yeah, so that's called a time trial start. That is one way that it can start. Most triathlons that I've done and seen are either a age group mass start, which is kinda uncommon in larger races. That's where the whole age group,
Starts
like, they do
together
that at, like, world championship races. That's where the whole age group goes out, treads water, gun goes off, and the whole age group starts at the same time.
from a tread.
Yeah, from a trad, which I actually prefer that because
Yeah.
then, like, that initial heart rate spike of just getting in the water, you don't have.
That
So
actually
you
makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you've got a little bit of time, and you're not in the water, like, a long time. It's like a minute, 90 seconds.
Yeah.
But you have enough time for your body to acclimate to the water, for your
Yeah.
heart rate to come down to,
Your
you
body to
know.
get used to. We're in water now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then, like, my personal, like, swim times tend to be better with those kinds of
Mm.
starts,
Mm-hmm.
than a rolling start. Usually, it's like 3 to 5 people, and they typically start, like, every 3 to 6, 10 seconds at the most, where you'll hear, like, "Beep, beep, beep, beep," and you go on the high pitch,
Okay.
and by the time you've hit the water, you're already hearing the beeps again. So it's just
Okay.
like this constant,
Let's roll.
beep, 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 and yeah, and they'll line up. They'll, like, put people through cattle chutes to separate,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
boom. I would say most of the not all, but most of the Ironman branded races I've done do that. A lot of the one I'd say the kinetic ones, I think, do that too. No, no, they're a, self-seed, just walk in.
Okay. Well, this was like, it was self-seeded based on your estimated finish time.
Mhm.
So you had to put that in when you registered, and then the numbers were sequential based on that.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
then
that's
they had different cap colors for different, like, so there were like corral kind of things, but then the start was just like everybody walks towards these like two
that's
lanes.
interesting. So the cap colors are by pace?
Yes. So like the based like the fastest group. And then they also said if you wanted a white cap, you could get one if you wanted extra eyes on
That
you.
Yeah, that's the "Pay attention to me, I might drown."
Yeah. I've never heard of that, but I was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, some of the smaller, more local races will do that. It's usually not white. White can be hard to see if there's a lot
Hmm.
of waves, but it's usually, like, some really bright color that's easy to pick out,
Yes.
and the kayakers all know to keep an eye on them.
Yeah. I was like, well, that's an obviously smart way to do it. Like that
Yeah,
should be the thing.
I think it's a great idea, and, you wouldn't think that many people would take them up on that because, like, "Oh, I'm fine." But you do tend to see, like, a decent number of people who are like, "No, give me that."
Well, and I very appropriately seated myself approximately where I finished, like right in the right point of the race. Like, and so I was with the old and slow crowd, and there were lots of us or lots of people around me had them. Like, not
Mm,
lots, but probably a handful.
you know, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
No,
Yeah.
no, I was like, I wasn't worried about drowning or having a hard time swimming. I was worried about panicking a little, but not that it would make me drown. I was like,
No, you didn't.
I did not. No, I did
I
not panic.
mean, look, panicking can happen to anyone. Even the
Yeah.
pros from time to time, they'll tell you they get in and 100 yards in, they're like, "I can't breathe." And they have to do the same thing. They need to, like, take a moment, pull themselves back together, and then they continue, you know?
I almost wonder if it's like more common when you're not anticipating it or like preparing yourself to avoid it. Because like when I went in the pool when it happened, I literally didn't even think it was a possibility because I really thought it was because of like the open water and
Mm,
the traffic and the like disorientation. I had and maybe the temperature. I did not think it was tied to the wetsuit. I had never heard that. So I wasn't expecting it at all. Like I had no awareness. Versus like, and that might be similar for somebody who's actually like an experienced, who's like, I've done this a million
mhm.
times. I'm not worried. You're not going into swim like, I hope I don't panic. And then maybe it's more likely than if you're like, okay, I gotta calm down, gotta take
Yeah.
it easy.
I I think also there's like the mental preparation part. Like if you're going into a swim that or an event, I should say, that you're expecting to be like wetsuit legal, and then it turns out not to be wetsuit legal, I've seen people panic in that situation as well.
Yeah. Cause it's like not what they've prepared themselves for mentally.
Yeah, like mentally you've spent like think about like an Ironman, right? You've
Oh
spent
my
all
gosh. Yeah.
or any triathlon really, you've spent all this time mentally preparing yourself for a specific environment. And
Yeah.
then at 5:30 in the morning on the day of the event, they say, "Just kidding, it's gonna be this other way instead."
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
That makes
I
sense.
I had that happen to me at I think yeah, I had that happen to me at one race. I was expecting it to be a wetsuit. The the practice swims were all wetsuit, and then the morning of, like, the temperature went up, like, 6 degrees the day
Weird.
before,
Uh-huh.
and it was wetsuit optional, and I'm like, "Hell am I doing wetsuit optional?"
Mhm. Oh, cause
Uh,
then that's the thing where your time wouldn't count.
right, right,
I get it.
and, yeah, I was trying to get a Kona slot at the time, so it was like,
Right.
"No, no, we're doing this," and,
Well,
it didn't go so well.
but isn't that the same thing that happened in Jacksonville? Didn't you have wasn't it wetsuit optional or was it wetsuit? Because you
Yeah,
usually wore a
Jacksonville
swim
was
skin or
yeah,
whatever.
it's a little different. Jacksonville, was wetsuit optional, but we did not expect it to be wetsuit legal.
Okay.
So those of us who know Florida weather, we're expecting it to be probably wetsuit optional. Like it looked like the chances of it being wetsuit legal were like under 10%.
So you didn't yeah, I remember you saying you packed your wetsuit just in case, but you didn't think you'd need it.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
packed it as extra insurance that I wouldn't need it.
Got it.
Because
Got
if
it.
I didn't pack it, I would be buying one down there.
Totally. There would be some weird cold front in Florida. They'd be like, "It's weird. We have snow in Florida in May."
Right, right. No, we had the opposite happen. They're like, this is weird. It's unseasonably warm this week. And we're
Uh-huh.
like, thanks.
I know. It was so hot. Ugh.
Right. That was
Yeah.
that we I mean, it was almost as hot up here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
really
when we
mhm.
drove home the day 2 days after the race, it was 95 degrees up the entire East Coast.
Holy cow.
Like the
Was that
car
Tuesday? Was that the Tuesday after your race?
Monday, Monday.
Okay. I feel like I rode my bike that day and it was really hot.
Yeah, we went yeah, even up in like until this is you know what? It was until the sun started setting when because we get off of 95 in Sunrise, Maryland, and that was right around sunset. But up until then, it was like 87 at sunset. Like it was in Pennsylvania, it was like crazy,
Yeah,
right? And you're a couple degrees warmer than us, I think, most of the time.
usually.
Yeah. Okay. So you got your open water swim in. You gonna
I
do
did.
more?
Maybe. I mean, I'm not super like it wasn't as bad as I expected, but I enjoy swimming in a pool. Like I really have fun swimming in a pool. I did not have fun. Maybe it would be more fun if I got better at it, but it was
Yeah.
like I wasn't exhausted physically, but I was exhausted mentally, and I was like very ready for this event. Actually, they had a 1 mile race, and that was the thing. And they'd had a 50-minute time cutoff. I crushed that, and
Well, that's good.
and then there was, I think everybody did. It was very generous. And then there was a 2 mile race after that was 2 laps of the same course. And so and you could do both. So a lot of people were doing both. And I was like, I only signed up for the 1 mile, but I was like, oh my God, I could not even imagine having to go do that 2 more times right now. Like, oh, like I was so ready to be out of that. I was so ready to be done, which it was nice because like it was kind of like a marathon in that way that you start off and you're like, oh my God, I just started. And then you're like, oh, okay, this is halfway. I'm going to make it. And then you're like, now I can see the end. I can see the end coming. Like that's how I
Yeah,
felt.
I
Yeah.
think every distance is that way, though. It's like I feel that way in a
Yeah.
5K.
That's true. That's true.
Like,
Except, well, but I very much enjoy like riding my bike. I enjoy the moment. Running, I enjoy the moment. Swimming in a pool, I enjoy the moment. Like assuming I'm not gassed out and like, sprinting or exhausted or whatever. But like if I'm feeling good, I like doing it. I was like, I just want it to be done. So, but maybe with practice that'll get better. And
yeah,
honestly, and like some better open water. This was not the most like the best open water you could imagine by any stretch, like in terms of water itself. I mean, it's like a lake. It's kind of like not the biggest, cleanest, most amazing lake you've ever
But
met.
there were no solids of dubious origin that floated by, were there?
No solids, no sea creatures of any sort, no nothing of that nature, thankfully.
Hey,
Uh,
sea creatures can be fun. In
Depending on what they
Jacks
are.
Yeah, in Jacksonville, there were dolphins that got us started. Like, it was so cool. The dolphins were, like, checking out, like, "What's all this commotion? We're not used to
I mean,
being commotion here." That was really cool.
dolphins would be awesome. However, I don't know if I could do a triathlon in an ocean because I was born the same year as you, but also terrorized by Jaws as a small child. So I think I would be worried about sharks the whole time if I was in the ocean. I would just be like, I would
I
be
mean,
hearing the music. I would be like
uh,
vigilant. I'd be like, I look like a seal. It'd be scary.
well,
Uh-huh.
I mean, the good news is, if you were to be attacked by a shark, you would not notice it for very long.
Because then you'd be dead. Is that what you mean?
Yes. See, I have the same
Uh-huh.
philosophy on a lot of things. It's like,
Hmm.
I've been asked by a lot of people because, yeah, I like to go fast. I like downhills on the
Oh, yeah.
bike,
Hmm.
and I like to go fast downhill on the bike.
You do.
And
Mhm.
I do, and I'm kinda, like, fearless, and I've had people ask me, they're like, "Well, how do you do that? How do you put the fear
I've
away?"
asked you that.
Yeah, and what do you remember what my answer was?
No. I think you said it will just go away. You said you'll look down and you'll be going 40 miles an hour and you'll be like, "Yay."
Well, no, like, the fear is, like, because in the back of my head, I'm like, "Well, at 60 miles an hour, if you fall on the bike, you're not gonna notice for very long."
True.
Right?
Yeah.
But the same is true at 35, like, you're gonna be pretty
Pancake. Yeah.
similarly banged up.
Mhm.
It's like the
Yeah,
difference
yeah.
in the car between 55 and 75, like, is there really a difference?
Yeah, not really.
Right.
Yeah. No, I get it.
But yeah, no, it also is, a lot of years of experience doing that too. So, you have your sprint coming up
I do. It's in 11 days.
in 11 days. That's exciting. How are you feeling about it?
Not too nervous yet. I'm a little bummed because this event, I didn't realize it when I signed up, but they have all these like, it's very much geared towards like new triathletes. And they've
Which
had these like,
that sounds perfect.
yep. And they have all these meetups. They've had these like like they like practices on the course and get familiar with like all these things. But it's like a solid 40 minutes from my house in traffic, and they're all in like the evening on weekdays. And so like I just haven't been able to get to any of them. And so like they keep emailing me about them and I'm like, dang it, I can't do it. And so I haven't been able to go to any of that stuff. And so I feel a little bit like ill prepared as a result, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm not really nervous about the swim because it's in a pool and because like it'll be fine.
Pool swims, though, in triathlon present their own challenges.
Yeah,
If people see themselves wrong,
yeah,
it really backs up traffic.
yeah,
So, like, it's not like in open water, it's sighting and not having a line
right.
and getting beat in the face by someone you don't know. In a pool, it's more like there's someone who's blocking the entire lane and they have their own
Yeah,
lifeguard. So how do you
yeah.
get around them?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, on the good news, I guess, for that, at least for this, actually for both of the sprints that I have this summer, like I don't really care about finishing time. Like I just want to practice. I want to practice the transitions.
Mhm.
And so, and even if I were to be competitive, that's not going to be from the swim. It ain't going to be from the swim. So the swim is short and whatever. I just need to get through it. So I don't think it'll bother me too much. I mean, unless there's somebody that's like treading water in front of me.
In sprints and Olympics, the swim matters. When you get into longer distance, like, you don't win the race unless you're Lucy in the swim,
Right.
but you sure can make your life harder.
Well, like, I mean, interestingly, in this open water swim that I did, I was bottom 10%. And when I used to do triathlons in my 20s, I was also always bottom 10% in the swim, but I used to win my age group all the time. So, and those were Olympics and won 70.3. So, sprints, I've only done one and I don't remember how I finished.
To say you're a pretty quick runner, so it doesn't really surprise me.
I'm usually top 10%. of runs and bottom 10% of swims, like
And
pretty much.
where's your bike? Like top 30%?
I don't know. I don't remember. My bike was always strong, not as strong as the run. So, but I haven't done
That
a
tracks.
bike. Yeah, I haven't done a bike race in a million years. But I mean, in the group bike rides I've been doing, I'm in the front pack. So I don't know what that means, but I can keep up with the big guys.
Yeah. It means you might need to find a group that's faster.
Maybe. I mean, they're pretty fast, I think, but they're not
Yeah.
racing. They're just riding. They're
That's
not.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And the distance matters too. Like if they're able to maintain that same pace over a longer distance, then like there's endurance that needs to be built. And then speaking of endurance, you recently gave us all a scare, threatening to sign up for 70.3 in 3 weeks. I was like, you when
What
you
did
said
I
this,
do, Jill?
yeah,
What
when
did
you
I do?
said this to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
you're going straight for the half now.
Uh huh. Yeah.
I'm like,
What
I
did I do?
support this, but I don't at the same time.
This all started because of wanting to have more options to do bike rides and open water swims, like long bike rides.
Yeah, so
And
go sign up
and
for 70.3.
I know. Well, what I initially sent you, I think, is would it be crazy to sign up for 70.3 and just plan to not do the run? Like I'm just gonna do the swim, I'm gonna do the bike, and then I'm gonna be like, that's enough. And I'm not gonna finish. And I'm gonna
I'm
know that
like
going in.
I'm like, "No, is that crazy?" No, certainly people do that, but it is $480.
Right. And you were like, you could probably finish.
Yeah,
Yeah. Finish.
I've seen your times. You probably could finish the half marathon there even if you walked it.
Yeah. And so, but walking a half marathon I have done and it is not fun. It is
No,
very
it's
long
not
time.
fun. So
Not
I
fun.
know that you wouldn't walk the whole thing.
No, I probably would not. But but that was my initial thought was I was thinking of like how can I find ways to do more open water swims? And then I was like, and also bike rides for practice, like on roads with other bikes and like and I was like, well, like Jill's doing that race. I don't have anything going
Well,
on that
I got excited.
weekend.
I'm like, "Oh, my friend will be there."
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like a good idea until I looked at the course.
I know, the bike course scares most people.
Uh-huh. I did like it, when you look at it on a map, you're like, "Oh, that's not so bad. It's
But
fun. It's a point to point. It'll be good." But then you get a little bit deeper and you look at the elevation and you're like, "Oh,
it's
never
not
mind."
bad. It's like the bike course there, it's like 50 miles of rolling hills
With one
with
mountain.
a punch in the gut and a punch in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like two big hard hills.
Yeah, the first one's not that bad, and honestly, the second one's not that bad, it's just long. 'Cause I think it averages what, like 6%, I think?
Yeah, but I think at times it's 8.
I mean, still, that's not terrible. Like, around here, some of the hills we rode this past weekend, which the athletes who rode with me have asked me to, rejigger the route for next time, but
Why?
one of those hills capped out at 18%.
Oh my god, okay, I get why.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, if you don't have if you're not set up for climbing, but
Mhm.
around here, like, you should be because it's
Yeah,
pretty hilly
hilly.
here.
I mean, we
Like
have we have hills too. Not on I
yeah,
don't ride them much, but we have them.
well, you should.
Yeah, yeah.
Riding hills makes you stronger. Stronger is fast.
Well, the group bike ride I did the first time I did one, also, I was very nervous for that, but the one that they were doing that day, they call short and spicy, and it is all hills
Love it.
and, like and some big hills. And short, by the way, means 40 miles, so I
It's
questioned their
it's like a
Mhm.
less than 2-hour ride for
Yeah, but the hills were steep, like, definitely bigger hills than I
so it's a
was
workout.
expecting. Oh, yeah, yeah, it was definitely. It was
I
fun.
mean, that's a good thing,
Yeah,
ultimately. Alright,
yeah.
so you've been doing bricks. It's been entertaining me watching you through this process of discovering or rediscovering, I guess. Like, first, you got this idea in your head, what, like 6 months ago at least, that you were gonna do this?
I mean, it was the idea first got in my head when you told me about the Philadelphia Triathlon last year, like, before last year's
Mm.
event. So
Okay.
it was over a year ago that I was like, maybe," and I looked at it and I was like, "No, it's too soon. I don't have a bike, whatever," but that was sort of when the seed got planted.
Right, and then, you know, you got back into swimming, and I've been pretty successful with that. Actually, I think it's funny because like we both do the Run Disney races. And speaking of which, I need to remember to sign up for Princess this week because I still haven't. But at the hotel, when we're down there, I might go to the Y like once to go swimming, and you're like, oh, my hotel has a 25-yard pool. I'm gonna go out every day and swim.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, dang, I actually have like a plan with stuff I'm supposed to do, and I'm not doing it because I'm 20 minutes from the pool. And you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna do
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going back there this weekend. I'm excited to swim in the pool again.
But they
'Cause
had so many attractions open today.
I know, that's why I'm going. And they have I don't have access to an outdoor lap pool here, which bums me out because now it's nice out and I would much rather swim it outside than inside because I'd much rather do everything outside than inside. And I don't have a swimming pool that I can use that has lap lanes that's outside. So I get to do that when I'm at Disney.
Well, look up to see where the 50 meters are. They usually are outdoors.
Yeah, there's some around here, but they're all like gated. Like you have to be members of some sort of club or
They're
community to
hoit
get
so they're
access.
they're hoity-toity.
They're hoity-toity, yeah.
All right. So you've been doing bricks, and how are they going?
Pretty good. Usually, they are good practice because I also work full time and am very, very busy. So usually I don't have a lot of time for transition. So if I had more time, I probably would take my time during transition and like relax and like get a snack and like think about what I'm going to do next. I'm usually like, I have to go. Like, if I'm going to get this run in, I have
Yeah.
to go 4 seconds after I get off the bike. So I don't have any time. So I'm really practicing fast transition, but kind of unofficially.
So at this first race in Reston, what do you think your, transitions are gonna look like?
Oh my God, I don't know. Because I also am going to be wearing a tri suit, which I do need before this in the next 11 days. I need to practice swimming in. Um,
Is that and yours has long sleeves, right? Down
I
to
have
the elbow?
two. I have two. I think I've already swam in the one with the longer sleeves. I think I'm going to wear the sleeveless one because I don't love swimming with sleeves on, and it's going to be warm. So
Yeah, sleeveless is more
gonna do-
fun in the swim. The long sleeve is faster, and it, doubles on longer races. It helps keep the sun off your skin.
yes, for the longer race, I think I would and
Yeah.
will do the longer sleeve one, but I think I'm going to do the sleeveless one for the sprints. But I need to swim in it first, and then the transitions. I mean, I don't know. Like I'm going to dry my feet and put socks on. I know you think I should wear socks, but I'm totally wearing socks.
It's a
And
swim. Just put your socks in your shoes and go.
put your socks in your shoes. What does that mean? You have to put your feet in the
Put your
socks.
put your feet in the shoes. Put your f See, I'm so,
Uh-huh.
like, flabbergasted at stopping at sprint to take the time to
Yeah,
put socks on.
but I'm not racing. I'm just practicing. I'm just practicing. I'm
Uh-huh.
practicing all of it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right. Yeah, yeah, I'm not racing.
And
Right.
I'm just gonna practice. I don't care that much about how fast I go. I care more about it being fun, and I don't wanna get blisters or run without socks. No, miserable.
Yeah. I only do it in triathlon, but I started doing the sprints in Olympics with no socks, and I did get blisters once. Is at the Atlantic City Triathlon. The race director there, who's the same race director for the one in Philly, prefers to have all the runs go on the beach at some point.
Ooh, sand.
And on the sprint, they do a sprint and an Olympic at the same time. On the sprint, it's not bad because it's like a mile, like 2.5. The problem is on the Olympic, it's at like mile 2.5. And you still have nearly 4 more miles to go, but now your shoes are full of sand.
Ugh.
I It was on that day that I discovered that you can get blisters on the arches of your feet.
Oh my god. You're
I've
really
never
selling me on no socks. Selling it.
Well, no, it's fine. It's fine as long as you're not running across sand, but I was thinking about it, I'm like, I've done that race, I think, 3 times, and that one I did pretty well with, and it's like, it's amazing how quick your transition can be if you're, like, just taking your bike helmet off and your bike shoes and throwing on run shoes and going,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I mean, I feel like this transition will go okay as long as I set it up right.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, so that you don't have to think about it. It's just like everything's on top of you just go through the pile or whatever. Like, so if I just put enough effort into setting up the transition, I think it'll be fine.
And this is the one that you talked all of us into coming down for.
No, I think you're all coming to the one in Philly,
I'm definitely coming to one in Philly, but
but I think everybody else is coming to the one in Philly too.
okay. I'm also coming to the one in Reston. You asked us to.
You are? Okay.
I mean, that's the plan. Although I do have a nearly 6-hour bike ride this weekend, so we'll see we'll see what the following
How
weekend
you
looks
feel
like.
the following weekend? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm like
Um,
trying to figure out like how do we squeeze this in and the long bike.
yeah, I mean, I don't know about everybody else. I think Nancy and Greg are coming to Philly. And Tony's coming to Philly and he can't come to Reston because they have a 5K that day. I just saw him last weekend.
It's a valid.
Yeah, they have well, it's for her work, so it's like she has to be there.
So it's mandatory then.
Mandatory, like there she's
Mhm.
it's like a fundraiser for her hospital and it's the same time literally as the sprint. So they're
Bummer.
not gonna be there. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to make it.
Yeah.
We'll see, but
With the pink bill thing, megaphone.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The pink bullhorn. Yeah.
She's gonna be like, "Don't put on those socks.
Well,
What are you doing?"
now that you say it, I should do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was I came down to the Philly half marathon. I didn't I I was registered for the marathon and half marathon this year, and I ended up not running it, and I was standing out there in the rain with it, cheering everyone on. So, like, I have no problem with that. I'll be
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I will be there, and when you go by, you will not miss me.
I'm sure I will not.
You
Yeah.
will not miss
Uh-huh.
me. Bright pink bullhorn.
Yes. What I'm mostly debating is, like, which shoes to wear. I think I'm just gonna wear my comfortable ones, not the new fast fancy ones I have, at least for the first one. I wanna practice in those more before I race in them.
Yeah, for the run,
Yeah. Mhm.
mm, I mean, it's a short distance, but
Yeah.
the run, a lot of people prefer a more stable shoe just
Yeah.
because you've
Your legs are wobbly or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
and you've put so much energy into the bike.
Right. Well, and I'm not familiar with the course either, and I think it might be hilly just because I know the area. I used to right where this triathlon is, I used to live, like, like a block away from the start. So I knew the area, but I mean, I used to live there again back when I used to do triathlon in the early
Mhm.
2000s. So it's been a long time since I lived there, but I kind of know the area. And the run is probably on like trails in the woods that kind of go up and down. So it's not the ideal place for sprinting, really.
So it's a little off-road too.
A little bit, I think, based on what it looks like from the map. It's on like trails.
Yeah, there's a company, Kinetic, I think it is,
Yeah, I've looked
that
at them.
yeah, they do some up here, they do some down near you, and a lot of their races have, runs that look more like a cross country
Yeah.
run, which is kinda neat if you like that thing. The first time I encountered that, I'm like, "Oh, we're running on grass. That's
What
cool."
we're going through here.
I wish I had known
Uh-huh.
that. I would have brought different
Right.
shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think this will have any of that. I think it'll be trails. And the other thing that has me a little bit nervous about it is I think the bike is 3 laps.
Okay.
So I assume well, actually, it'll probably be fine because of the swim. I'll probably be starting at the back anyway. So I'm just gonna be passing people. But also like the fact that people are gonna be entering the course and exiting the course as you're like going past the course, all of that feels a little stressful. But I don't
I
know.
mean, usually it's a pretty well marked Y with a sign that's like 2nd and 3rd loop finish.
Yeah,
I'm always
hopefully.
stressed that I'm gonna, like, be futzing with something and not see it. At Jacksonville, I had that moment about a mile before the sign, and I looked over to the guy I was passing, and I'm like, "Have we passed the split yet?" And he
Huh.
was on his first lap, and
He didn't know.
apparently he follows me,
Uh-huh.
and he's like yeah, so it was a really interesting exchange because he's like,
Okay.
"No, Jill, we have not."
You're like, "Why do you know my name? That's weird."
He's like, "I
Uh-huh.
assume you're heading to the finish." And I'm like, "Yep."
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's funny. He
Yeah.
was like, "I'm gonna be out here for 5 more years."
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it stuck with me because I think we actually met in Kona last year, and, like, when that happens on the bike, because people will cheer you on
Yeah.
and, or whatever, and, like, groups who know each other. It's one of the things I liked with being on in a tri group was, people out there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was That was the first time I've had someone address me by name.
Neat. Yeah. I'm only gonna have you addressing me by name when I'm on this triathlon course. Nobody else is gonna know me. Mhm.
I mean, at Philly, though, you're gonna have your own little cheering section.
It's not just you guys. You guys are coming, my family's coming, our friends who live in Philadelphia are coming with their kids. Literally, I think I have like 20 people coming to see me do this sprint triathlon in Philadelphia. Mhm.
Pressure.
No pressure. It's gonna be like, "Why are there so many spectators?" "Oh, it's all for that lady." That's just gonna
Hey, you know what? I think having a cheering squad, especially for your first race, is
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah.
My cheering squad is usually my family, and I'm very happy with that because,
Yeah.
I've done I mean, we've known each other for a long time. You do
Yeah.
so many races where, like, your cheering squad is yourself. So, like, having anyone there is nice.
Yeah. It is. It is nice. It's nice having
Twen
somebody there when you're finished. Yeah.
Yeah, 20
Mhm.
people,
Yeah. 20 people. That's
no
why I gotta
pressure.
do the practice one in Reston first, so at least I know I can do it, you know?
You'll
Yeah.
be fine. I think they're basically the same distances too.
Pretty close. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
and the
so
same setup, like pool.
yeah, like the zigzag down
Uh-huh.
the pool.
Uh-huh. And the ride, I haven't actually really looked at the Philly one too much yet because 'cause I'm focused on the first one, but I think the ride isn't several loops for that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, Philly is 1 loop.
Okay. That I like
It's
that better.
Yeah, you go down this hill, make a right, go out a little bit, turn around, go the other direction for several miles, turn around, and then you ride back to that hill, go up it, and into transition.
Nice.
Yeah,
Then you
it's
just run.
and then you just run, and the run there is actually pretty. It's through a park,
Nice.
but
Well,
it
and
is mostly paved.
nice, that's fine. I feel like, I can't imagine why a swimmer would wanna be a triathlete. You know what I mean? Because if you're a good swimmer, like, and you don't like the other 2 disciplines, like, ugh, like a lot of swimmers hate running. Like, that would be miserable versus doing it as somebody who's not a great swimmer but really loves running. It's like, "Okay, I gotta do a swim. Fine." And then biking's pretty cool. Like, that's good. And then you get to run at the end. Yeah.
See, you're, like, way too excited for the run. I'm like, I like I like the swim. I mean, I started as a runner,
Yeah.
and now running is, like, my weakest of the 3 sports.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like the swim. I
Uh-huh.
obviously really enjoy the bike. Then the run, like, okay, this past Ironman aside, like, I was still getting over something. It was so weird. Every time I started running, my heart rate would shoot up. I couldn't breathe, and that sucked. But anyways, like, my running's not bad, but relative to the other sports, it's not good.
Yeah, running's still my favorite and my strongest of the 3. But it's reverse order. Like swimming is my least favorite, biking's in the middle, and running's my favorite. So it's
Uh-huh.
like you save the best for last is perfect.
See, I like to describe it as triathlon is in reverse order, in descending order of probability of death.
Also that.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
So every time I see on the interwebs "Hey, what if we did a triathlon in reverse?" I'm like, "You really
That's
wanna
pretty cool.
swim after you just did all that biking and running?"
I usually, to be honest, I almost always do the training in reverse. Like pretty much no. I'll usually bike before I run if I'm just doing those 2, but when I'm swimming and something else, I always do the
Mhm.
swimming last. I never do swimming first in training.
Yeah,
So,
but they're not right after each other.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's like, could
I
you
mean,
imagine?
sometimes they are because of my really jammed up schedule, like,
Right,
so sometimes it
but
is, like, I will bike and then literally, like, go to
but
the pool right
think
then.
think of running a marathon and then
Mm.
hopping on the bike for 112 miles and then go swim for 2.4 miles.
Well, that's just but it's crazy in the opposite direction too.
Or do it okay, divide by 2.
Yeah. Well, and I forget what I saw. I saw something about Ironmans, and I was thinking about how I don't think I'm ever gonna wanna do one. I'm sure I'm not ever gonna wanna do one. It's definitely way too long for me, but I was thinking about how it's, like, arbitrary, like, there's always longer, and then when I was thinking about that, I saw something that said there's also double and triple Ironmans. How come you're not doing those, Jill?
So on my list for 2027
You're gonna do a
is
double?
I wanna do the Florida Ultraman
What the heck is that?
and possibly the Ultraman World Champs if I can get
What
through
it
that.
Okay, you're gonna back
It's
up
a
and tell me what an Ultraman is.
I need to look it up because I think I'm going to get the numbers wrong. The swim is a 10K swim. So it's
Okay.
actually
Holy cow.
it's a little bit more than double what you would get
Yes.
in an Ironman. The
By like
bike,
an extra mile and change. Yeah.
let's see, the bike, what is the bike?
400 miles. What is this called? A Florida man?
All right. So let's see here. So it's 320 miles total
Wow.
instead of the 140. So it's a bit more than double.
Hmm.
And let's
It's like
see.
only a marathon more than double.
It is 2 marathons, but it is split over 3 days. So the first day
Okay.
Yeah, so the first day you do the swim and half the bike.
Okay.
Then the second day you do the second half of the bike and the first marathon. And
Okay.
then the third day you do the second marathon and finish.
Okay. That makes it a little bit less crazy, but not much less crazy. The 2 marathons 2 days back to back alone is too crazy to me, but I mean, 1 marathon's too crazy to me, so, you know.
Alright, here we go. So it's a 10K ocean swim in Kahlua Bay through the world. I'm not sure where the one in Florida is. Then it is a 171-mile bike ride. Then Right, and then a double marathon, 52.4 miles.
A double marathon the second day?
Mhm.
So 2 marathons in 1
No,
day.
no, it's broken up across the 3 days.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. It says each stage must be completed in 12 hours or less.
So 3 days, 12 hours or less each day.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Good luck with that.
I think it sounds like a lot of fun.
I wouldn't use that word. I mean, like, to me, there's a point of exhaustion at which it no longer is fun. And I feel like I have made it through marathons without hitting that. Like, I have in the past run a marathon where I'm still not so exhausted at the end that it's not fun. But beyond that,
Yeah.
and that's not every marathon. That's only a lucky marathon, like a good day marathon. Most marathons, it's stopped being fun before you get to the end. And I'm in it for the fun. So, like, there's no way that would be fun for me.
Yeah, I think on, like, iron distance, I I don't see it quite as much in the half iron. I think a lot of people reach that point, like, somewhere in the middle where, like, fight or flight kicks in,
Yeah.
and you're like, "I want to be anywhere but here. I hate this. Why am I doing this?"
Mhm.
And, like, part of what makes it really hard is not the distance so much as, like, getting through, like, the mental challenge of no matter who you are, it's a long day. If you're finishing in 8 hours or 17, it's still a long
It's a
day.
long day for the first person and the last person.
Right.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Different types of long, but
Yeah.
it's a long day.
Mhm.
And, getting through that, like, you get into some pretty dark places at times.
Mhm. Well, and I feel like there's a version of that that happens in a marathon. There's a version of that that happens for a lot of people in a half marathon. It's just like, you know, at what point do you start to feel that way,
Absolutely.
you
The
know? Mhm.
proverbial mile 18.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's not nearly as bad, but, like, I think even in a half marathon that's why I like 10 milers. In a half marathon at, like, mile 10, I'm like, "I'm ready for this to be over." Like, I'm
I
kinda over this. Like, I'm
I
ready to
love
be done running.
I love 10 miles because, like, you
Yeah.
show up ready for a half marathon, and then at mile
Yeah.
10, you're done.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
and in a half marathon, I'm done at 10 miles. I'm like, "Okay, God, fine, another 5K, I guess.
well, but we
Whatever."
were talking about that earlier, like, every
Yeah.
distance, you reach, like, that magic point where after that, you're like, "Are we done yet? Like,
Yeah.
seriously, why are we still doing this?"
Yeah.
And, like, half marathon for me, it's like, I don't know. It's like
The first half marathon I did,
Yeah.
and it was, I mean, this time around, it was at Disney on a marathon weekend, and Kevin texted me because I don't know, he wasn't paying attention. It was the first time I'd done a Disney race. He didn't really understand
Mhm.
the timing. He texted me when I was at mile 11, and he was like, "How was your race?" And I was like, "I am at mile 11."
I'll tell you in 20 minutes,
It's like, "Right now, it is not fun."
right? No, I was thinking, I'm like, I think, like, right around the 15K mark, I
Yeah.
have, like, a kilometer or so where I'm like, "I hate this. I want to be done."
Yeah.
But it fascinates me because in like a full marathon, it just comes and goes.
Yeah, it kind of does.
And then
But
like in a full marathon, it's like 35 is the devil.
yeah. Well, and I can't understand kilometers, so I'm just going to assume that's far, like 18 maybe. But
Like
in
20.
biking, I don't really have that happen. Like because I think biking inherently, maybe not the way you do it, but the way I do it, there's inherently kind of like fits and starts. Like you're pushing for
Mm,
a while, and then you're trying to chilling for a while, and then you're pushing for a while, and you're chilling. So it has sort of
yeah.
inherent like intervals in it or breaks. And
Come
so
talk
like
to me mile 90.
yeah, I mean I've done a century. I want to do another one, not a race, like not a race, but
Hey, I keep inviting you up here and you keep saying, oh, I can't do that.
I'm so busy. It's really hard to find a day that I can do that.
Hey, you know what? I got a 5.5 hour ride I got to get in this weekend. I'm happy to do a century with you.
I'm gonna be in Disney
That's right.
swimming.
Well, that's poor planning on your
Mhm.
part.
I know. Well, we'll have to figure it out. We'll have to figure out a time that I
Yeah,
can
we're all
come
going
up
to be
and do
living
century.
vicariously through you, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a quick trip. I'm just gonna go do the new things and then come back after a couple days.
I'm jealous.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know
All
how it
right.
all is. Yeah.
All
Mhm.
right. So, anything else about your training to this point and your preparations for this first sprint in your re-entry to the sport that we haven't talked about?
I don't know. I'm not doing it perfectly. I know. I haven't really practiced transition. I'm just going to practice it at the race, which is not what you're supposed to do, but that's how I'm doing it. And
You're not alone in that.
I'm sure that I'm
A
not.
lot of
Yeah.
people do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And, but I'll figure it out. And the biking's gone amazing. I went from like terrified and scared and clipping. Kevin watched me do this. I would clip out like 40, like, I don't know, probably 25 yards before the intersection. I was clipping out just to be ready, got to be clipped out. And then I would like, I was so nervous. And now I'm
Mhm.
like, got it. I got the
Oh,
bike.
it's all right. I have a husband that does the exact same thing.
You just got to ride. I've had my bike for like 3 months and I've ridden like 500 miles on it. So
That's amazing.
I've done a decent amount of ride because it's so fun. It's like, I want to do it
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, every time I see
Yeah,
a text or a post from you, it includes a bike. I'm like, "I love this. This is awesome."
I know. My bike is my new best friend, my
Yep.
favorite thing. Love
Yeah.
it, love it, love it. So I'm not nervous about that part at all, but I don't know. It'll be fun. I am not trying to impress myself with my time, much like in the open water swim. If I'm not last, I'll be happy.
But you will cross the finish line, you will collect your medal, and whatever comes along with that medal, which
Exactly.
I expect to see hanging on that wall behind you.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll
Right
be
there in the
there.
middle, there's a big blank space.
Where? There?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put it there, right behind my head.
Yep. I'm thinking it
Yeah.
belongs right.
Okay. And I'll put
But
all
you're
three
gonna
of them.
you're gonna have you're gonna have a little
Uh-huh.
collection of them this year.
4.
4.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
on that note, we're following along on all 4, and you call yourself the baby triathlete, but I think you're quickly growing up.
Quickly. Yeah. I mean, once
Quickly.
I've done one, maybe I can be like a toddler or a child.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All
on that
right.
note, thank you everyone for following along with our baby triathlete's journey with me to her first sprint on her way, in her own words, to being a toddler triathlete. I would never call a new triathlete these things, but it is what she calls herself. And till next time, when we follow up with you, Sharon, after your race in 2 weeks. And that's, as they say, a wrap for today's episode of the Be Fierce and Try podcast. I'm Jill Bartholomew. I hope that what you heard today was interesting, inspiring, and that this episode helped you to think smarter, train differently, and show up with more intention. Make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss what's next. And if you are looking for support on your journey to your next start or finish line, I would love to work with you. Here at Be Fierce Multisport, we work with athletes of all abilities, and you can learn more about coaching, training plans, bike fittings, and everything else that we are building at Be Fierce Multisport at the site, befiercemultisport.com. Until next time, train with purpose, execute with intention, and as always, be fierce and be you.